Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, Latina Plants. My name is Jackie. Today's video is going to be an unboxing of some plants from Canopy Plant Co. If you like videos like this, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that bell to get notified every time I upload a video. So let's go ahead and get on with the unboxing. And after the unboxing, I will also show you an update of the plants. Hi, so I got my box of my plants just shipped to me. And so I want to open it up with you guys. I have a tray ready for the plants here so I can put a dome over them and quarantine them and also treat them. So let's go ahead and see what's in this box. And so I'm finally feeling better. I decided to purchase some plants mainly because I want to add more plants to my collection to grow them out and also have more of a variety to sell on PalmStreet. And these are supposed to be fully established plants. I purchased these from Canopy Plants, which I've purchased from them before. I've also done unboxings before. Again, not sponsored at all. And so now that the box is open, let's go ahead and check it out. I didn't expect these to come all with labels. They don't always come with labels, but it's nice when they do label the plants. And so let's open this one up and keep the original tags. This one is the Hoya naboensis Splash. This is supposed to be a 3-inch pot. This is what she looks like. And right off the bat, I see that some of the growth points are dying back already. And it looks like there are maybe 6 plants in here in this 3-inch, which is pretty good. This is what it's looking like. Super cute. Okay, that is the Hoya naboensis Splash. So that is our first plant. Okay, the next small one here, we're gonna open. There's some popcorn on the top. Ooh, this one is so beautiful, you guys. I'm so excited. All right, let's open her up. Again, they're not taped to the cardboard, so you can see the plant already. I'm gonna go ahead and take off all the tape. This one is supposed to be a 4-inch, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's a Hoya acuta inner variegated. Super cute. There are some markings on some of the leaves, but I will be spraying all of these down and treating them for flat mites as I do most of my plants. Probably after a week, I will go ahead and treat them. But it looks like I have a piece here that is like a reverted piece because it has no variegation, which is okay. When I repot, I can separate that and just have a different version of the Hoya acuta, just a green version, I guess. So that is plant number 2. So plant number 3, and next one here is the same variety. This one is the Hoya acuta albo marginata, and she lost a leaf, which is okay. It happens with transit. This one actually feels really wet and heavy, which hopefully it's not rotting. It's very wet and heavy, and there's only like 3 cuttings in here for this large of a pot, so she will definitely get downsized when I repot her. These tendrils will probably die back because they're all bent and limp, so they're not very happy looking. And these leaves feel soft. They should not be so soft. And one of these leaves is broken. Hopefully I can bring her back because she is a beautiful plant, but this leaf here is a goner. It's broken. This one as well is broken. There's 2 leaves, 3 leaves gone. It also has some markings on the back of the leaves, so hopefully no pests here. And like I said, she's really wet, so hopefully I can dry her out and she'll be okay. Definitely gonna spray these and repot them. Oh, here's another leaf that's a goner. And that one's a goner too. Oh, this plant is not very healthy looking at all. I'm not happy about this one. But I want to show you a little bit more up close why these leaves are goners. They are pretty dead here on the stem here. I don't know if you can tell how dry, flimsy it is. I'll probably do a little close up and show you guys more. And then this leaf fell off and yellowed off completely. I'm not surprised with how wet this plant is. So again, this one is not taped to the cardboard. This one is the Hoya sigillatus. It's a beautiful Hoya. This one looks much better. It has another yellowing leaf, a few yellowing leaves. Oh boy. Okay. So this one was the hanging basket. This one is pretty wet as well and heavy with moisture. There are even mushy leaves on the top of the soil. It's not a good sign. There's a stem that is yellowing here. I'm trying to stay positive, you guys. Got a lot of yellowing leaves. Quite a few of them that are yellowing and have some yellow spotting. So this is definitely one that we're going to need to chop and treat. But for a hanging basket to have only 4 little plant vines in there, I mean, this is a lot of plant, you know, but these vines are dying back. There's a lot of yellowing leaves. Hopefully she will be okay, but I'm not super hopeful because of the way that these stems look and how much moisture is in here and the yellowing leaves. Some of these leaves feel pretty firm, so maybe she will be okay. And that's just a little shock from shipping. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that she will be okay because she is a beautiful plant. I love how long her leaves are, and I love the splashing on her leaves. And again, this is the Hoya sigillatus. And we have one more to go. Okay, this is the last one and the tallest one, it looks like, out of the bunch. This one is the one that I'm most excited about. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it looks better than the last two. Again, not taped to the cardboard, messy, super messy. I don't put any fluff to protect the leaves around the cardboard, which is why I think some of those leaves got broken off and they just are not very protected that way. I have pretty high standards because I ship plants and they never arrive this messy to people. At least I've never had any complaints about it. I use a ton of fluff and tape and cardboard. Let me know if you know what plant this one is in the comments and if you have it in your collection. This one has a good amount of moisture, but I wouldn't say it's like drenched, just a little heavy. The mix that they use is not super airy, but I guess because they're a big nursery. But this plant I definitely have to treat for flat mites because I'm seeing flat mite damage on here. That's definitely flat mite damage. Yep, definitely flat mite damage. I want to show you guys what flat mite damage looks like. Hopefully you can see it here. All of this scarring on the leaves, that is flat mite damage. This one has heavy scarring. So I definitely have to treat this plant. And it looks like this is maybe 1 or 2 plants in here. I'm not sure. I do see a growth point near the soil as well as this new growth point here. Hopefully it continues to grow for me. And I haven't said yet what plant it is, but I really wanted to get this one in my collection. And it is the Hoya Filisonii, I think that's how you say it. But that is how you spell it. I will put it up on the screen if you can't really see that when I do the editing. But this is what she is looking like. It is a beautiful plant with beautiful leaves. I love the veining. And I like the jagged like edges on these leaves, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. But yeah, I don't know if I'm super happy with these plants, but I think that we can rehab all of these and get them to a good healthy state. I will treat all of them for flat mites. So to wrap everything up, these are all the plants that I received from Canopy Plant Co. I am happy with the size of the plants and the prices for them. I didn't really tell you guys the prices for them, but let's go ahead and go over the prices. So the Hoya sigillatus hanging basket, this one is pretty long. It is a beautiful plant. I do love this one once it's sun stressed as well. And I don't really recall what the blooms look like, but I will put it up on the screen for you guys so that you know. But it's a pretty long plant. It's kind of deceiving, the pot. I don't think it needs a pot this size, which is a 4-inch hanging basket. I think that a smaller hanging basket would have been better. I don't know if these come smaller or not, but yeah. But we will see how this plant does in my care. I am kind of looking at it to see if I see any kind of pests on there. The only thing that I'm really concerned about is the flat mites, because you can't really see them with the naked eye. And I do see a little bit of damage on some of these plants that resemble flat mite damage. So I definitely will be treating it. Again, the Hoya sigillatus was $24.99 for this 4-inch hanging basket. I think that's a pretty good price. I also had some reward points from the last plants that I bought from them. So I was able to get $25 off my order. And then the Hoya acuta albo marginata. I think this one has the most damage. I actually believe this is a sigillatus leaf that somehow ended up in this plant. This one has the most damage that I can see. Hopefully she is a hardy plant and easy to grow and propagate. If you have any tips, please leave them down below in the comments for me so that I can have some success with these plants and propagate them for the shop and everything. So this Hoya acuta outer variegated was $19.99. And there's about 3 plants in the basket, and it is a 4-inch pot. And to wrap that up, let's go with the next one. This one is the Hoya Philinsonii. Again, this one looks like maybe 2 plants in the pot. I'm not completely sure until I repot it. It does have some damage underneath these leaves that make me think of flat mite damage. I don't see any other type of pests on here currently, but I will be treating all of these with sulfur. Again, this is the Hoya Philinsonii, and she is in a 4-inch pot, and she was $24.99. Most of these were in the same price range. This one I'm pretty bummed about because she lost a lot of soil, and I will definitely need to add some soil to this pot so that the roots don't dry out. And I only see maybe two new growth points, one on the non-variegated piece that's in here and one on the other piece that is actually variegated. Again, this is the Hoya acuta intervariegated. She is beautiful, and this is a 4-inch pot, and this one was $24.99. And then the 3-inch Hoya naboensis splash. I think this might be one of the better looking ones out of the bunch. And yeah, she looks really pretty. She kind of reminds me of the gracilis or the memoria. Super beautiful plant. Love this splashing on her leaves. And she was $24.99 as well. So that's my haul, you guys. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is that all of these plants did not survive for me. So let's go ahead and see the ones that survived. The first one that survived, and it's not looking too good. I'm going to show you the pretty much mother plant because I chopped her up. I did keep her root system to see if she could recover. I do have her in a tray with a dome, and she is keeping her leaves, but her leaves do not feel firm at all. As you can see, they're really, really wrinkly. And this one is the Hoya Philinsonii or Philinsoni. It's a beautiful Hoya, but as you can see, it didn't do too well for me. And I did wait, you guys, about, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks for them to acclimate before I repotted them, and their root system was not very good. And so I did decide to put them in these 3-inch self-watering pots, which is working great, but this one is taking some time to bounce back. And if I can find a date of when I did the unboxing, I'll put it on the screen for you guys, as well as pictures. Well, you will see the unboxing anyways, but since this one took such a hit, I did go ahead and take some propagations, and I did try to propagate it in 2 different methods in case one didn't work. Since this is a new Hoya for me in my collection, I wanted to make sure that I tried different methods to propagate it to make sure that I could be left with one. So the first method that I tried was in my chunky soilless mix, and it's doing really well in this. I think these are like 2.5-inch pots. And I did a 1-leaf cutting for this one. And as you can see, it has a growth point as well as 2 leaves. So this is the newer leaf coming out. And this up here is the growth point. And then this is a new leaf as well. So I'm really happy to report that this one is doing well. And this one's in ambient. It's just on one of these trays under my Barina lights. And in here, it's currently 76 degrees with 32% humidity. And so it's not super high humidity or anything like that, but it is really warm in this room. And I can see some roots in here. Hopefully I can show you. So it's doing well. And so I'm really happy that I was able to do that. I also took 2 other cuttings in Fluval, and this one's the one in Fluval. Now this one is actually on a tray under a humidity dome, so it's getting more humidity than the one in my soilless mix. But this one has, I think the mother leaf actually fell off of this one, and I just left the stem in there and it actually grew 2 new leaves. And so I'm really happy about that. This one also has, I don't know if you will be able to tell, but pretty good root system in Fluval. So I'm going to pot all of these up in the same pot soon. As you can see, they have a really good root system. The next one was in Fluval as well. And this one has a pretty good stem here, new growth, and it has a new leaf coming in up top. I believe this leaf here is new as well. And I don't know if you can see, but it has another new growth point there at the bottom, at the base. And so I'm really happy about this one. The leaves are kind of small compared to the mother plant, but hopefully I can get them to size up. They are actually darker as well, which I really like the darker leaves. And yeah, this one's in Fluval, has a really good root system as well, all the way to the bottom of this cup. And this has no drainage. And so I just wait for most of the water to evaporate before I even water this, especially because the roots are all the way down to the bottom. And so that's the sigillatus, or sorry, the Philinsonii. Next, we're going to talk about the Hoya acuta intervariegated. This one I chopped back as well. I was afraid that I was going to lose this one because all of the leaves were really soft feeling. It also had a lot of damage behind the leaves that resembles flat mites. Now, I didn't get my scope out and check it out. I just treated them, and I did take cuttings of this one after a while because it did drop some leaves. And so I was able to save 2 pieces on here. And so it's looking good, and it has roots growing into the reservoir, which means it's really happy. And so it's in my soilless airy mix, chunky mix. And I also want to point out that right here is a new growth, and over here, I don't know if I'll be able to show you right here. See that pink vine is a new growth as well. And so I'm looking forward to this one growing out. And so really excited about not losing that one. And I'm really glad that the mother plant is doing well and growing because the cutting that I took actually reverted, you guys. So here is the cutting. The leaf is super thick. I hope you can see how thick this leaf is. Probably because a lot of moisture in the pot. But I don't really see any roots extending outwards on this 2.5-inch pot, but it does have a new leaf that's coming in here, but it's not variegated at all. As you can see, it's totally green. And so I'm hoping that if it continues to grow, that starts to give me some variegation. If not, I will probably just separate it and put it in with the green version. And what I mean by the green version is in that pot with the variegated one, there was a stem that was reverted. Hopefully I said that in the unboxing, but I decided to separate that stem, and here it is. It's doing well. It's in the 3-inch self-watering pot. Also has roots growing down into the reservoir, so it's really happy. The leaves are nice and firm, and it's got all of this new growth here. And so it's doing really good. I do like the leaves on this one, and so I decided that I'm going to keep it, even though it's just a green and not the variegated. But yeah, this would just be, I guess, the green Hoya acuta. And the last plant that actually survived, I had to completely chop this one up, you guys. I did not know that the Hoya sigillatus was such a difficult Hoya. I guess I should have researched it before I purchased it, but this is all that's left on the mother plant. Now, have you seen how beautiful and long and viney the plant was? This is really sad to see. This stem here, I left it to see if it would shoot out any new growth, but it has completely dried out. So I will be taking that out soon. But these two leaves are nice and firm, and which tells me that this vine has some nice established roots in here. And I do not see any roots on here, and they haven't reached a reservoir either. So I will probably leave this one in here by itself for a while, but I will take out this more dry stem. It looks like it did try to grow, but the stem dried back as well. So not really sure what's going to happen with this piece here, but I did take some pieces. I actually took 6 propagations, you guys, because I really wanted this one in my collection. So all 6 of these are actually in fluval. Here is the first one. It's got a really nice long vine, and it's got good roots in the fluval. Again, these are in shot cup. I think these are 3-ounce cups. No drainage, just fluval. And I have them in high humidity because this plant seems to like high humidity. And I just love the leaves, you guys. And so these were all like, I believe this one was either 2-leaf or 1-leaf cutting. And so the rest of this is new growth, which I'm really excited about. I still don't know what I should pot this plant into. If you guys know, have this plant in your collection, let me know down below in the comments. I'm leaning towards pond because it's doing so well in fluval, and I think pond would be really good for it. Let me know if you have this Hoya sigillatus and if it's doing well for you in fluval or pond, or what substrate do you recommend for this Hoya. And so there's a new little leaf there coming, super exciting. So that is propagation number 1. The second propagation here, I actually put a couple like bare stems here, but this one has about 3 propagations that I put into 1 cup. And yeah, there's new leaves, new growth, not a whole lot of roots. I do see that the roots are more towards the top than the bottom of the fluval, which makes me think she doesn't like to have like wet feet. So she might like a really airy substrate, but she's gorgeous. So that's propagation number 2. Propagation number 3, I had very little stem on this one, so I used my clear clips here or pins, pin her down into the fluval, but I did 3 propagations in this cup, and these roots are looking much healthier on this one. It's a little green algae in there because once I saw the roots, I did start to fertilize it, give it some fertilized water, and you can see some sun stressing here. And there is a new growth, new vines on that one. I'm just waiting for the other ones to have new vines, but there are new leaves in there as well. So I'm really happy with this propagation number 4. So this is propagation number 4. As you can see, it's like a burgundy-ish color, that leaf. So that is a new leaf coming through, hardening off still. This one has a vine that has a leaf on it. It did skip a node, it looks like. I think I may have knocked off some of these leaves, I'm not sure, but there's quite a few growth points on this one. I have, I think, 3 props in this cup as well. And I just wanted to get as much as I could prop so that I could have a nice full plant. And this one's doing really good as well. I don't see a whole lot of roots in here, but she does have some roots that are peeking through the fluval. And so I'm excited. I think I'll still keep them in the fluval and in the dome for a little bit longer until they get more roots and more growth. Especially with all this new leaf growth, I don't want to shock it or have it drop any of its leaves. Now this one is propagation number 5. And as you can see, she has some new leaves at the end there. I have about 3 props in here as well. And all 3 of them have new shoots, new vines. As you can see, there goes one here. Hopefully you can can see that. And then this one up here with the 2 leaves, and the smaller one down here also has 2 new leaves coming in. And I hope you guys can see why I purchased this plant. It's just gorgeous. I had to have it. These leaves are nice and firm. The ones that I got, well, when I first originally received the plant, the leaves did not feel firm, which tells me that it was probably rotting from the roots, or already had rotted roots, which can happen when you purchase plants online anyways. But this is the last one here. And in here I have 3 props as well. As you can see, I have 3 pins. One hardly had any stems, so I don't see any new growth coming from that one yet. This one had 2 leaves, hardly any stem as well. So I don't see the new growth from that one yet. Maybe it'll come up out of the fluval, but there's a lot of roots like on top of the fluval, as well as some coming down the cup, which is really good. And it's all the way around the cup. They have really good roots. So I'm excited about this one. Unfortunately, this new growth here did die back a little bit, but this one is growing and doing well. As you can see, it's nice and green. And so I can't wait to pot all those up into a self-watering pot and have a nice bushy sigillatus vining. Well, I think I will probably have it trailing. I think it'll do well trailing. Not sure. But it is a beautiful plant, and I'm glad I didn't lose that one. The other one that I lost was the Naboensis Splash. I was really excited for that one, but when I repotted that one, and I wish I had recorded, but I was frantically trying to repot them and stuff and propagate them because I thought I was going to lose majority of them. And so 2 out of the 5 is not too bad considering I did end up with an extra plant because the Acuta had, or the Acuta intervariegated had the regular Acuta inside. So I did get an extra plant. But yeah, the ones that I lost was the Naboensis Splash, which I definitely am going to try and get that one back in my collection. They do have variegated ones available as well. Well, I don't know if Canopy Plants has it, but I know that there are some out there, and I wanted to try the Naboensis Splash green variety before I go into the variegated one. And so I'm going to look into getting that one back into my collection. And the other one that didn't make it was the other Acuta Albo Marginata with the white margins on the outer part of the leaves. That one I actually want to get in my collection as well. And so, yeah, if I find it online or maybe locally, or if somebody wants to do a trade, let me know. If I have something that you would like to trade, we can always, get that together. But yeah, that's everything. Canopy Plant Co. typically sends some really nice, healthy specimens. And I think it was a mix of the temperatures, maybe, and maybe the way they pack the plants, as well as their newer Hoyas to me. And so maybe I repotted them way too soon. But I have had plenty of plants that I've bought before that I've repotted after a 2-week process. Some I have actually repotted right away and they do well. So not really sure what happened with a lot of them, but I'm happy to say that at least 3 out of the 5 that I received are doing well. And the other 2 I will end up getting back into my collection again. I will do another update on these once I get them potted up. The propagations all potted together. Maybe we will do that together. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that bell to get notified every time I upload a video. And let me know if one of these was your favorite that I shared with you today. I may also be propping these in the future to share with you guys on PalmStreet, so keep an eye out for that. I know right now still winter time and it's really cold here in Jersey, so I'm not doing any shipping right now. My PalmStreet is actually on vacation right now, but like I've said before, I can still send out the self-watering pots if you guys are still interested in them. You guys know they look like these. I have the clear insert versions as well as the white insert versions. So I will show you the white versions. So this is the example of the white version. They also come with the wick and they have a window. I love these pots and I've changed majority of my plants into these, and it makes it so much easier for me to water my plants and stay up on my watering of my plants. As you guys can see here, I've changed all of the African violets that I currently have on the shop into those self-watering pots as well. So you will get an African violet in those self-watering pots if you are interested in those, the variegated African violets and the other ones as well. And I did find the ID for the African violet because I went on Optimera website. Like I tell you guys all the time, I just wanted to give you that update since we're sitting here in front of the plants. So let me give you a look at them. This is the pink variegated one. And so I have her ID now, you guys. And I believe she is the Vintage Romance or something like that. I forget, but I will label them when I send them out as well, just so you guys know. Okay, that's enough about PalmStreet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.